Okay, today, that's a difficult image, okay? That's very challenging. You've never done that. Mark, can you see?
Yes, I
Yeah?
can see.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, this is actually, it's a sculpting in clay, not clay, the other one, the
Porcelain.
not porcelain, plaster. It's a plaster portrait, and that's in Beckenham Church, in Beckenham, yes, inside the church. It's got so many portraits. This is the most interesting and the best, in my view, the best portrait there. And it's basically, you can see that it's really high on the wall, and you can see it we see it from below. So it's very high. It's basic perspective, yes. So the best thing to do here is to start getting it into. First of all, let me put that, place it there, so we have it constantly in our view, and then start doing this. So, before I do anything, is first of all the plinth. You've got the plinth here. Now that's still, the page is dark because of the charcoal that I had previously here. So I just doubled it, and it's a charcoal of another drawing. So ignore that, it's just dust. So then you have the plinth, which is about 45 degrees on a right angle really, 45 degrees. Then you have the neck, body, head, neck here, and I need to take that off because it's not enough space. There you have it, and then you have that. So that's one way to go with the outline, which is not bad, but also a little bit help will be when you do this, look. See, which is the line from the forehead, middle of the nose and middle of the mouth, and then middle of the chin. So it's that line here on the portraits. We've done that quite a few times. When when the portrait is looking towards or facing you, mostly. Then you have the eyebrows here, which is this line here, the eyebrows. The eyelid here. The nose is really close. Look, the exception of this is the nose is very close because we're seeing it from underneath. That's why. So the nose is very close here. That's the side plane. You can say, well, it's a plane, and then you have the upper lip, which are quite low actually, low here, and a right angle or the same angle of the eyelid, eyebrow. You will have to have the same angular shape here on the lips, the lower lip. And I'm being a little bit more hands-on with the eyes. So the eye, I know it's not as dark as that, but start putting the eyes, a little bit of the chin here, very dark on the chin, which is up to the neck. Then you got the ear, which is the ear line is in between the nose and the upper lip here. Then you go the hairline, something like that, dark here, and middle tone, which goes like that, middle tone, which is basically this side here, side plane. Look, so that you can do that on the actual page, on the picture that I have here, or the print that I have here. Then a half tone between the eyebrow and the eyelid. Then you have the eye here. Then forehead, eye, background, hairline, and the hair continues there. And you have a very, very, very dark. Well, it's not dark on the picture, but what I'm doing it on my own. Let's see the background. So it just. So I can actually bring the side line of her face here by doing the background. Instead of doing a line like this, I'm bringing the background there. And you have again, working chin, neck, chin again. A little bit smaller nose because I've done it very quickly just to establish where it sits. Now being a little bit more precise. Upper upper lip here. She's looking kind of well, she's looking up first of all. She's not looking down. She's looking up. So the pupil is looking right up here.
Is it a woman?
I think it's a woman. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, it must be. I mean, not for sure, obviously, because it's a scouting, so the artist might got it wrong as well. But with these fleshy lips, most likely it's a woman. And middle of the lips here, edge of the lip, upper lip, edge on the and lower lip here, there, and side. Then you have the eyebrow on that side. Then you have the forehead coming there, and a little bit further up, I think here. And I think I need now to establish where exactly the eyelid is here. So the eyelid of her right eye, we've got the eyelid of the left eye, now the eyelid of the right eye, and it is there, pretty much. Looking up, she's looking up on both eyes, actually up and towards her right, not only up, but it's a kind of a, then eyelid, the tear duct, and closer, which is the hair, and the hair and the eyelid is quite close here. God, she looks like she's wearing a veil. Okay, let's do that. I know, but I wanted to do that middle tone. You see, that's why. But then obviously I've made it a lot stronger than I should have. And then half tone here on the side of the face, half tone here, half tone right here as well, and middle half tone, then a bit lighter. And the cheekbone, look, sometimes do that drawing right on the image. Look, see, that helps enormously. So you can do that highlight here, although as I said, I've done it by darkening the background here, but sometimes you need a line just to make sure that you're going in the right direction here. There you are. And bring that lower here. So yes, emphasize this, which is the chin, but then bring it lower there, so it just drops like that. And then you have the neck, which is quite, there's a distance, keep an eye on that, because I had it quite a few times, that's repeated today, is that here, the distance between the chin and the neck is huge, it's large. And she's even wider here. See, need to go even wider here. Okay, make her wider. Maybe I've gone too far, but anyhow, yeah, maybe there, not as wide. And the plinth, just move up with the plinth, darker on the neck. And let's I've got it a little bit exaggerated by the eye and the lips, but is better exaggeration than not exaggeration, in the meaning that it creates a nice expression when you exaggerate things every now and then. And in the movies they do that. They exaggerate the crashes. They crashed many cars. So it attracts you. you keep an eye on the movie. Don't get bored. So, and here as well. And then forehead. Look, moves up a bit. There. Forehead. Just move. So do the line right there in the image, and then move it and do it yourself here. There. And the eyebrow. Too dark with the eyebrow. Bit nose here. Bring the nose up a little bit further out, the eyelid, because I think the eyelid could go a bit further out there. And now with the putty rubber, first of all, I think that looks huge, the forehead. So let's bring it, let's put it onto more of a manageable size. Upper eyelid line. Upper eyelid with a line, and lower, take that and lower eyelid here. Bring that lower eyelid, which is kind of a look. We're looking at it from below, so we need to do that, and then lighter onto the tear duct, and lighter here, and a little bit darker, or these darker tones here. Darker tones, and the line of the hair is low, it's quite low. And the ear, don't forget the ear is, I'm going too dark now on this, so the ear is in between the nose and the upper lip. Ear is between the nose and the upper lip. And one thing that I need you to keep an eye is that it's a very grey portrait, although I've gone very dark on purpose. I wanted to make it dark just to make a point, you know, to make it, again, to raise the darks. Although it's a very grey portrait, and keep an eye on the dots of the eyes, which are the pupil, nose, and the lips. Look, the darks on this portrait are concentrated here: lip, nose, and the eyes. Yeah. So, again, you don't have to do that, but it's good to take those dots, those critical, crucial points as a reference. And I need to bring up or take off those lines. And another thing that I had it coming to me all the time is that the lip is within the nose. Look at the nose. The nose is there. If you drop a vertical line, the nose is inside the lip area. So you see the nose is actually, if I drop a vertical line from the nose down here, then the lip is inside here. It's on that side. It's under the nose, well under the nose. Up, lower lip, lighter. Upper lip, a little bit more there. So move it that side. And I've done her a bit smiley, so a bit less smiley on me. Nostril here. The nose is quite light here, it's quite bright, so keep that. Emphasize this light part of the nose. Forehead, I've gone with the forehead quite large actually, so I need to bring it down. Bring the forehead down here. There. I think that's better. Because we've seen it from low, the forehead always restricts itself, becomes or looks to be a lot smaller. Anyhow. And dark here. Dark eyebrow. Again, this is the lines that I've told you. Look, keep an eye on these darks in between the two lips, middle of the lip, the pupil, which is looking up, chin, very dark. You can come darker here, and then softly merge it with your palm of your hand. Soften those lines that I've done here. Softer lines here, softer lines there. The forehead. No, let's get rid of these. They are coming in front of me. See, I didn't want it then. Okay, get rid of them. Upper lip. Softer and lighter on this side. Yes. Here. I think it's not a very precise. The eyes, for instance, are huge, but the beginning is important. How to start it. And it's something that you haven't actually done with that degree of perspective, with that huge sign of looking from that kind of low, being so low, not that kind of low, but being low, being as low as that. I mean, perspective-wise. Neck, there, a bit less dark. Don't forget, it's a white. Did we say white? Well, white material basically. And a little bit light on the hair. Light on the hair here, and a little bit more. Well, first of all, dark on that, and you can bring the what's that called? The curls here. Look, Just bring up them like this. Plaster. That's the word. Yeah, plaster. It's a plaster basically. The material is plaster. And the eyebrow, I think I can bring it here. Around the forehead there. Okay, well, that's it. It's a start. Now, for me to do more or to be a bit more precise onto the let's say the shape of the eyebrow, the shape of the eyelid, that will take more time, and I don't want to take time from you, obviously. So you can start it now, and then in the middle, I can work on that. You can tell me, well, we can stop, and I can show you how to continue with that. As soon as you start putting those first lines, that I can do it, I can continue and come back to this one and finish it off maybe in front of you here. Okay, now let's do it. I think that's good enough to start with anyway. Huh? Hello again. Let's see what we can do here with this to finish that portrait on. So first of all, let's grind a little bit of charcoal here. Willow charcoal. Create that plentiful of dust here. Let's get that going, that dust. A little bit of dust. Take it here with your brush. Move it onto the eye. It would be better than if I use my fingers, because my finger just leaves traces there. So there you are. And a little bit more of an eyebrow. Further up, a bit more rounded eyebrow there. That's a better middle tone. A little bit of burn. Sorry, I'm painting in my mind here. Actually, it's drawing. It's not painting. It's not burnt sienna. It's just charcoal. Take that, move it, a bit of that dust, move it close to the eye. A little bit of darker tonal value here. Darker here. Bring that neck a little bit further in, because I think she's way too wide here from that neck. She's a little bit closer to the mouth, so that is not needed here. Being the ear lobe, and then some hairline. Although we do see very little hair there, it's very little. The middle tones are very bright, so I have to keep that area onto the light side. There. Darker tones, middle tones here. And I think again, with a brush they'll get softer and incorporate those highlights onto a bigger or a wider, let's say, curls, as the curls are coming around here, and a little bit lower or darker here. I'm starting, or I'm trying to define the face from the hair, and with a lighter putty rubber here, I think that will help. So create that lighter tone, which is actually that overarching bright tonal value here, which is under the eyebrow and above the eye. That's the one. A little bit lighter here onto the cheekbone here, and lighter here for the neck, lighter here, again light on the neck. I would actually deliberately darken this area so I can keep that area light. So I know it's not as dark as that, but I'm deliberately darkening it. So then I keep that area lighter, much lighter, and the eye goes a little bit further up. The eyebrow also moves up a bit more. Background, I think I could go a little bit and create, you see that area here, and then you have hairline there. So if I highlight it, probably you will see it even more. So, closer to the nose, those highlights or lines, if you see, if you like. Forehead, nah, it's a bit further out. Forehead is there. You got that line of the eye, the roundness of the eyelid, upper eyelid. Is that at the same angle or a horizontal line? Yes. So that means I have to bring the eyelid down here, and that the eyelid is there. So yes, lower, much lower. So not that line for the eyelid, the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid, and just a touch, just a little touch for the eye. I think that's enough. Just a little touch for the eye. Upper eyelid with highlights and a little bit of highlight here, highlight there. And that would be the, oops, the movement of the phone is just terrible. It's moving down, it's moving down, down, down. I think that's better now. There. There. Okay, sorry, the phone moved. It's not stable, so I'm checking every now and then if I'm doing well with the phone. I need to change the place where the phone is held there. Okay, just highlight here. I think a little bit of light here, and I could get nose a little bit further out, as in that sense, further out that way. Yes, that's creates a bigger and more accurate nose. What else? Checking for the hair. I think the hair needs to be added on the right side of the eye. Hair needs to be added on the right side of the eye. And what else? I think the ear is a bit huge, so I need to just to make sure that the ear is not as big as that. Bit of dust all around here. Dust, dust, dust. There you are. I think that dust could go and spread a little bit further out there. Bring the eye, the eyelid, what's it called? The iris, the pupil. The eyebrow is correct, it's raised up, and I was talking about the hair. Hair is that one here. So hair, we do have some hair here. It appears to be on the picture. A little bit, I've gone too dark there. So with the brush, that way, just soften that and then spread the hair there. It doesn't have to be a line as such, could be there. Just all that. If I use a bit of a less of a darker line there, that suggests that this place or this area or those curls are moving back. See, are becoming part of the background. And then you have the forehead, which is really light up here. And then the curls appearing from the forehead there. The eyelid needs to be a little bit more rounded. There. The philtrum here, which I neglected a little bit. And loads of, hold on, because I had the neck there, but it doesn't make much sense to have the neck there. I think the neck is a bit further inwards there, because it makes her neck it needs to be pushed forward a little bit more. And here, a bit less dark on the neck here. That's what the neck, I think, should be. More roundness on the lips here, more rounded lips, and some hair right down here. This area, which is very vague. It's a very, obviously it's a white, transparent, white plaster basically. It's almost, you can see through it. It's not transparent obviously, but it's white plaster. And some more curls here. But I don't want those curls to be that dark, because they attract or distract the attention from the portrait. So you just incorporate those. I'm doing different shapes and shades, and this is more about the style than anything else. I'm not seeing that there obviously, but I think that creates a certain style or a certain look, if you like. And a little bit more rounded here. Guess the nostril is a little bit, again, further up. That's too dark, I know. Nostril there. And obviously, let's take some of that dark off. And bring the tip of the nose further up, as in really close to the eyelid and the eyebrow there. Putty, shape up the putty onto the shape of the really bright edge. There. The iris, rounded of the eye, lower eyelid, it gives, again, it's an imperfect drawing, but actually this is my goal. I want to keep it fresh. More spontaneous as spontaneous as possible. It's not spontaneous, obviously, because it's been measured and it's been worked, but don't want to lose that freshness. I know it's not entirely accurate, but it is close enough. The eyebrow is at the same horizontal line as that, is the upper eyelid. That is the bone structure of the upper eyelid above the eyelid, and the end of the eyelid becomes one with that dark line here. And also above this eyelid here, you got that dark line, which is basically, again, it's the bone structure, which is a little bit further out, as in there, out there, a little bit more wider here on the right side of the eyelid, there. So it's closer to the background. Upper eyelid, eyebrow, which is actually happens to be a little bit more rounded. There. Also, that's more rounded. And it stops here, doesn't go any further. Stops here. I have some curls going on here. As I said, that sculpting is it's beautiful. I particularly like it. I don't know if some of you might like it, some of you might not, but I think it's amazing. It's impressive actually to think that it was high up on the wall in Beckenham St. George's Church. A little bit lighter, keep some curls coming through. Lighter as well. I think I've gone too dark here with the earlobe, a little bit less dark, some more transparent middle tones. I think again I've been too greedy with those darks, so I've just used a lot of darks. So just coming back and taking some of them, a little bit less. Don't want to take them off, but just a little bit less. It just creates that movement. And maybe, just maybe a little bit brighter here as well, which is right under the eye, lower eyelid, and then a little bit more rounded there. Here. The plinth and some highlights here for the hair. So I can suggest that the hair is actually there. It doesn't have to be a line, or it can be a line, but with a putty rubber and not with a charcoal. There. Obviously that suggests curls. I can come down a little bit and create some more curls. Invent actually something because they're not there, but I think that will do. That will help. Oh my God, that gets off all the time. So I need to keep an eye on the pocket here and the way it's moving. Right, and some more hairline. I think the eye on the left or the right eye of her right eye or the left eye as I see it. Let me see it here. Needs to go a bit less dark than that and incorporate it into there. Into basically incorporate it onto that part of the eye of the forehead. And darker here. I think I've gone too, just separated a lot, just a bit less dark, less black on the pupil. And some highlights here. I think some highlights here. The tear duct, I think it's a bit too far out, a bit more inwards, tear duct, a little bit lighter tonal value on the iris. That part of the eye, of the bone structure of the eye, brow and the eyelid, this one, that light, I think this could go, or as it is going lighter, and I think that will do good there. But I need to emphasize a bit more the upper eyelid, which is this one here, and it is right under the lower, well, it's at the same level or at the same angle. Okay, just using a little bit more highlight here, highlight on the forehead, a little bit highlight between the eyebrow and the eye. I think that is a little bit stands higher. This one here, that's the eyebrow, and I think that's better, it's more accurate. And lose that line in between the two eyebrows. Less dark here. I think I went too dark there. As I said, the eyelid, the upper eyelid, it's right at the same angle as the lower eyelid. So the upper eyelid here is at the same horizontal line as the lower eyelid. So a bit more rounded here. There. A bit more rounded here. And work it a little bit more. And again, a little bit less dark here. Take some dust from the charcoal, which is grinded, and the horizontal line right above the upper lip. Those darks here, and dark here. Okay, not a lot more to get through. So let's get some more goings here. A little bit lighter. First off, we'll get those lines coming through. I think it's a bit lighter here as well. Yeah, lighter here. So first with your finger, get some darks out. Let's say that reflected. See that highlight under the nose? That it's important to highlight a little bit more that way, and a tiny highlight here. That way, there. Bring the nose a bit further, or highlights of the eye, especially the lower part of the eye, and then a tiny highlight around the nose here. And more rounded light on the lower lip. And here as well. There. And a little bit of rounded here. There. A bit more rounded and less edgy. Those lines and those darks, highlights. Under the eye, you have the end of the lip, which is right here. Under the eye. And here as well. There you go. Lower eyelid. Upper eyelid. Here, highlights here. There. And a little bit, bring the side of the nose a bit wider here, especially right here and here as well. So bring the nose a bit wider there, possibly wider here as well. Yeah, that brings the nose a bit more prominence. And lower eyelid, and a little bit light on the cheek here. There we are. I think it's good enough. Obviously, the more I spend time on it, the better it will get. But I think you get the message here, how to start and how to go about it. I think it's good enough as it is. A bit more hair all around here. There we are. Okay, what's the date today? And first of all, a little bit more with charcoal. Darker around here. darker under the earlobe, darker here, and get that line a bit less, less with the line and more of a darker edge there. Yeah, that dark to continue and to become part of a line there. Or part of the, well, the jaw, just to bring up the jaw, but not with only a line. It's to be a wider shadow, not only a line. Okay, lose the edge or lose those highlights. Yeah, I think that line doesn't have to be here under the neck, and then lose the edge here between the neck and the face. Oh, bring it tiny bit more, just a bit of highlight here. It doesn't have to be with a putty rubber, just here. And little emphasis here with the hair around it, and that will be good enough. I don't have to do anything more to it. All right. I think time to let it go. Don't want to lose patience with this one. Okay. The 24th. More curls. There. See you on the next one.